Chapter 12. Failure Mode and Effect Analysis. Failure Mode and Effects Analysis, FMEA, is a structured approach to discovering potential failures that may exist within the design of a product or process. Failure modes are the ways in which a process can fail. Effects are the ways that these failures can lead to waste, defects, or harmful outcomes for the customer. Failure mode and effects analysis is designed to identify, prioritize, and limit these failure modes. FMEA is not a substitute for good engineering. Rather, it enhances good engineering by applying the knowledge and experience of a cross-functional team, CFT, to review the design progress of a product or process by assessing its risk of failure. Reliability and its requirement. Reliability is usually defined as the probability that a product will operate without failure for a specified number of uses, transactions, or for a specified period of time. To be truly testable, a requirement for software reliability should be stated as a forecast, and the test results should indicate the confidence level associated with the forecast that the product will meet the requirements. Just as when setting a reliability goal, the apportioned goal for purchased elements require all four elements. Function, often detailed in a requirements document. Environment, use conditions and profile details. Duration, length of time or number of cycles. Probability, likelihood of successfully functioning over the duration. Failure rate. Failure rate can be defined as the anticipated number of times that an item fails in a specified period of time. It is a calculated value that provides a measure of reliability for a product. For example, if a component has a failure rate of 2 failures per million hours, then it is anticipated that the component fails 2 times in a million-hour time period. FMEA documentation procedure. Process failure mode and effects analysis must be done in a stepwise fashion, since each step builds on the previous one. Here's an overview of the 10 steps to a process FMEA. Step 1. Review the process. Use a process flowchart to identify each process component. List each process component in the FMEA table. If it starts feeling like the scope is too big, it probably is. This is a good time to break the process failure mode and effects analysis into more manageable chunks. Step 2. Brainstorm potential failure modes. Review existing documentation and data for clues about all of the ways each component can failure. The list should be exhaustive, it can be pared down, and items can be combined after this initial list is generated. There will likely be several potential failures for each component. Step 3. List potential effects of each failure. The effect is the impact the failure has on the end product or on subsequent steps in the process. There will likely be more than one effect for each failure. Step 4. Assign severity rankings. Based on the severity of the consequences of failure. Step 5. Assign occurrence rankings. Determine how frequently each failure is likely to occur and rate each using customized ranking scales as a guide. Step 6. Assign detection rankings. What are the chances the failure will be detected prior to it occurring? Step 7. Calculate the RPN. Severity x occurrence x detection. Step 8. Develop the action plan. Decide which failures will be worked on based on the risk priority numbers. Focus on the highest RPNs. Define who will do what by when. Step 9. Take action. Implement the improvements identified by your process failure mode and effects analysis team. Step 10. Calculate the resulting RPN. Reevaluate each of the potential failures once improvements have been made and determine the impact of the improvements. Forms of FMEA. 1. Process FMEA documentation. PFMEA is a methodical approach used for identifying risks on process changes. The process FMEA initially identifies process functions, failure modes, their effects on the process. If there are design inputs or special characteristics, the effect on end user is also included. 2. Design FMEA document. DFMEA, or Design FMEA, stands for Design Failure Mode and Effects Analysis. It is a type of FMEA, failure mode and effects analysis, that focuses on the design of the product to reduce the risk of product failure. In other words, DFMEA is an analytical methodology used in the product design and development phase to improve product quality. Steps to develop Design FMEA. When everything is ready, DFMEA team, template, and support document, you can start conducting design FMEA by following the 9 steps below. Define product requirements. Brainstorming potential failure mode. Analyze effects. Finding potential cause. Describe current control for the potential causes. Evaluate occurrence/detection of current status. Calculate RPN and evaluate risk. Corrective action plan. Re-rating RPN after corrective action.